അല്ല, കുറച്ച് പ്രോബ്ലത്തിൽ സംസാരിച്ചാലും നമ്മ ഓഡിയൻസിന് പ്രശ്നമില്ലേ. ദേ വിൽ ബി വെരി ഹാപ്പി ഇഫ് യു ടോക്ക്.
எனக்கு பிரச்சனை உண்டല്ലോ.
Okay, let us begin with our discussion. It's about his memoirs, about his early life, his career, how he became an artist. Straight to the question, how you become an artist?
How I became an actor, I don't know. Because all my life I knew what I don't want. I did not know what I want even now. So I was born to a almost migrant. You know, my mother was an orphanage. She was brought up in an orphanage. So she came in search of life to Bangalore as a nurse. And my father was totally opposite. That was in Mangalore. This is Hubli. And he came in search of job and he was a binder in a government press. I had no literary backdrop, but they were trying to make ends meet. So I was a son of them. Nor there was literature, nor there was theatre, nor there was cinema in my life. But as I went into school and into college, then they put me into science, which I was not interested. My father wanted me to become an IAS officer. That were their wish, but there was no empowerment back home. When probably in college school, I went to a debate competition and I loved the claps because I had a memory which I used to do, and then I started loving it. So till college, it was just that there was something that I could get an identity with, that I think I could be popular. I had never taken acting serious. But then I was in a degree college, and it was very boring to do commerce. And I was more interested in strikes and things like that. I was very naughty. One day, my English lecturer said, I think, Prakash, you're wasting your time and my time. And I felt like a Buddha, realized I just walked out of college, I never walked back. Then I went into theatre, there was Kannada theatre, and theatre then started doing different plays, doing a lot of Shakespearean plays, Athol Fugate plays, August Strindberg plays, and there was a lot of good literary movement and protest literature in Karnataka. Then I said, this is something else. And that's when I realized there is something for me as an actor, because I could be myself with what I have read, and the nuances were different. And without my knowledge, I turned into an actor.
Your first experience as a film actor happened after meeting the great K. Balachandran. Could you...
Balachandra was a very great experience because I was struggling to do something in cinema, but I had no godfathers in Kannada cinema. So I used to get small roles to make ends meet. They would say, Prakash, he's from theatre, he is good with dialogues. So they would call me for a lawyer's scene or some officer's scene. Then there was this actress called Geeta who I did an art film with. She said, I think you should meet Balachandra. I said, I don't know, I'm from Karnataka. Then I met KB sir, and nobody saw him the way he saw me, the way he saw. Because he was talking and I was talking about theatre and literature. He said, there's fire in this fellow's eyes. What were you doing all these years? Like he was complaining, why didn't you meet me? And that was very, wonderful. And then he casted me into films. And Tamil cinema at that point of time is, if Balachandar is introducing an actor, the other directors would say, he must be caught somebody. And then Mani Ratnam happened, Iruvar happened. And for actors like us, unless we get a chance to perform, the directors choose us, will the people know who I am? I think K. Balachandar gave me that space, gave me that confidence. And I remember many years later, when I had enough name, and he called me and said, I'm doing a television serial, can you come? I said, sir, I'm coming. And he had given me a scene and I was performing, and I could see tears in his eyes. I walked up to him and said, what happened? He says, you say I am your guru, but I have not taught you this. I said, you did not teach me, but you gave me a confidence that I can try. And you gave me a space. It was a very fair space. You did not look at my language, my religion. And I think that great quality of K. Balachandra and few directors like Mani Ratnam in my young days, I was lucky compared to a lot of youngsters that they were not partial. They were more selfish for their films to work and they could see a talent and with nothing they could take. And I think I've been very lucky in my journey to meet them. And I will forever remember K. Balachandar for the confidence of the selfless love he gave to me.
You are so lucky that you got the opportunity to act as a superstar in the very duet movie itself, is it not?
Yeah, that film was about an actor. And I remember, and I'll share a beautiful moment because I was a villain in that film. And KB sir has this habit of that when he sees an actor, he starts writing more scenes. And then he shot so much with me, and I could see Rajnikant's walking style in his style. So I said, I'm not going to imitate that, it won't remind. Then, when the film was about to release, after censor, he called me and said, I'm sorry, I have cut some scenes. I was shaken. Then I saw the film and I said, this is enough for me to arrive. And he said, that's the spirit. So, in his film, he was talking about a woman being wronged, and it happened to be a superstar. And don't bring it to the superstar of the industry, it was just a character. I think I was called a supreme star in that film. Yeah. And there was something with him, Balachandar, no? There is a scene where I become one star and I'm about to light my cigarette, and there are 10 lighters come around. And there are producers. And I said, what is this? He said, this is your future.
So,
I said, maybe I'll not become this arrogant, but thank you that you said you instilled a confidence in me in my first film that I will be there. Yeah.
um, before acting his film duel, you might have seen lot of Balachandra's films, no?
I had seen his films as a
Tannir,
Kannadiga.
Tannir, Tannir, Tannir.
Tannir, Tannir. So, see, when I was in Bangalore, this is very childlike. I remember there was Mani Ratnam with Roja, and he had done a film called Vanamayalai. I was a struggler and I didn't even have a vehicle. So one day I was sitting, I saw Vanamayalai with four youngsters. He had made a film. And I remember he was driving me, riding in Majestic, and I was just waving at people. He said, who are you waving at? I said, that old man Balachandar, if I had met, I would have been one of the actors. And I would have become this popular where people will wave at me. And my friend still says, idiot, you knew you will be here. And to see Roja and say, when will I be in his frame someday? And I dared to dream. And that's a great moment. Then I was introduced by Balachandar and I got my first national award with Mani Ratnam Ziruvar. Yeah.
Balachandra's another film, Varumayan Niram Sikappu.
Balachandra's 100th film I produced called Koi. Balachandra had done 99 films and he had called me to act in a serial. And I asked him, why are you not directing films anymore? And he said, who will produce films with me? I said, I will produce a film with you. You do what you want. Then I produced the film and it did not do well. He was very disturbed. He said, I introduced you, you lost money. I told him I came to Chennai with 120 rupees in my pocket. And this film I lost around 3.5 crores, but I'm not on the streets because you made me rich enough to lose. And if I have given you one smile on your face that you could make a film, that's more than that. And he hugged me and he said, thank you. Because that is a relationship we need to have. And losing that much of money, it's sad that, it's my bad luck that he gave me a flop, but he gave me so many hits. And that's the relationship I had with that man till the last breath of his. I was a good friend to him. I used to visit him. I love him. I think I gained more than I lost with Balachandar.
After the first film, Duel, you got the confidence to act as a film actor as your life. to continue the life as a film actor. You got the confidence and you switch over to other languages. Uh, Could you please explain that change in your life? How did it made a change in your life?
So that was career, you know. I was very hungry. But coming from theater and being chiseled with literature and life, I did not want to become a hero. Because for me, wearing the same wig for 20, 30 years is boring. And I'm not a good dancer. And I am not a fighter, I am an actor. So it was always there to relish different languages. And because I had come from Karnataka, I loved Tamil literature. Then the Telugu film happened, Malayalam film happened, Hindi film happened. And I think my hunger is that I would like to travel. And I'm so happy today that I must have worked with more than 200 directors and as many cameramen have seen from Ilayaraja to Rahman. Have had the joy of working with different languages, different character actors. And in that journey to see, drink water of so many rivers, food, culture, and actually enjoy the joy of the robust diversity we are living in and to be loved. That Malayalis love, they have almost adopted me. Telugu people say, hey, Mana Prakash Raj garu. Tamilians will fight. No, 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 he's more Tamil. I love that. And that was my hunger. That was my hunger to be accepted by all languages. And I was lucky too to get good directors, good writers who trusted that this guy could come. And probably I arrived at a point when Raghuvaran had reached his peak,
Yeah.
and they needed a space somewhere there. Because there's so many talented actors more than me too, but then only few get the chance. And I think I was good in holding on to it and trying to experiment. And after a point of time, I forgot I was acting. It is more living now.
No, no, your commitment to any role, while selecting a role by you to act a role, your commitment, your analysis of that, while selecting a particular role to act in a film, your commitment to analyze the different aspects of that particular
Yeah, there are two types of audience in this country. In India, I can't be a Iranian or a Italian or a French actor where he can think of one genre because my country has commercial audience. People love to do Gilly, and I would have to do Kanjivaram and Iruvar too. And I think as an actor, I need to negotiate between two. And I am an actor who surrenders to scripts because I decide who's the director, what is his space, what does he want. Because I believe actor is just a color in a painting. I am not the painting. And so I have to be that humble at that time. But of course, when I select and I negotiate, I, as an actor, with my experience, with my reading, I do bring something to the table which can enhance the film, which there is a wonderful dialogue. And that's how it happens. But now, much later, beginning it was a career, but much later when Gauri died or I became very aware of my gifts or the love the people and the trust they have given, then I start thinking of is it a propaganda film or is it is it hurting women? Because and I also have two daughters and it becomes very responsible. So I see I am careful, but I'm too lucky also. A lot of propaganda films don't come to me because they know I'll not do it. So that's fine. I have not been tested about that yet. But yes, I negotiate differently. I don't differentiate between a popular director and a young filmmaker. And now I want to work with more youngsters because I want to unlearn. Because on 3 decades, the nuances, audience have grown. Audience have become pan-India. The film industry is claiming that they have become pan-Indian. I think that's a very nonsense way of looking at it. The audience have become pan-India and they're comparing films and you better live up to that. No, you can't, that's how it is. And now I am learning. When I just did a small film with Anand Ekarsi, I'm meeting young directors. I can't go with what I know already because they're challenging me a lot. They have more nuances.
Yes.
in saying, and sometimes I don't understand because they're so sensitive. And that is a generation which I have not lived. So they are making me younger. It is more challenging now to act and to be relevant in the industry. Yeah.
Uh,
Because I see now, it is such a beautiful thing too to see a lot of young actors have made me an audience. Like when I watch a film, I realize that I'm not necessary for that film, and this kid is doing so well. That youngster is doing so well, and that fellow has got a swag. There is a time of let go also, and I have to realize that too.
but we people who are seeing movies, we want you.
You want me, but it is left to me to be relevant, no?
Yeah.
Because I just can't go with a weightage that I'm a star or an experienced fellow and make a young director shiver. I mean, he is the director, even if he's young. So I see youngsters are also worried because of the big name, you know. Can we afford him?
Yeah, yeah.
What about his moods? Because more than people who have understood me in the industry, there are a lot of people who have misunderstood me too. Now, how do I explain that? So I need to make an effort because I need exposure. I need to flow with different thoughts. So yes, you people love me, but that is not enough. Film is more important. The script is more important. What the new generation is saying, what are the scripts they are doing, that is more important than me already have become an actor. So I am in that dilemma. So I have reduced my films because bigger films are very toxic and I'm little uncomfortable with toxic films. So I take off, and luckily, because of literature and because of the Nilabadu I have taken, I have become richer within. And I'm enjoying my theater, reading translations, and doing some films.
Your first meeting with the Mani Ratnam.
Mani Ratnam Iruvar was a very crazy meeting. So he had started the film. It was titled Anandan, and he had casted Nana Patekar for that role. For some reason, Nana Patekar said no Mani Ratnam or something. So I used to go to Mani sir and say, do you have a role in Iruvar for me? And he says, no, Prakash, there is no role. He shot for 2 schedules and he asked many actors. And desperately, then he called me. I want to do a photo session, and Santosh Shivan shot, and I did it. Then he said, you're okay for the younger character, because I was 30. Then 2 days before this shoot, after the third schedule, he said, you come, let me see what will happen. And that is how it fared. And what happened later was history. So money was like that, you know. It was a lot of negotiations, reluctance, but it happened. And the experience was beautiful. Yeah.
That character, Tamil Selvan,
Tamil Selvan.
we know who is
உன்னோடு
that.
நான் இருந்த ஒவ்வொரு மணித்துளியும் உன்னோடு நான் இருந்த ஒவ்வொரு மணித்துளியும் மரண படுக்கையிலும் மறக்காது கண்மணி 90 நிமிடங்கள் தொட்டணைத்த காலம்தான் 800 ஆண்டுகளாய் இதயத்தில் கனக்குதடி. What a poetry it was.
Have you met Kalanger before that?
Kalanger, yes. But to be honest, somebody asks me, how politically aware were you of Dravidian politics? I tell them I did not. Because that was an age where I was worried about my career. That will I be accepted as an actor? So I looked at it as an actor's perspective of a chance to work in a film like that. And I went to the sets 2 days before the film started because at least Laletan, Aishwarya Rai, Tabu, all of them had 8 months, 6 months of hard work, assessment, research to find the nuances of the characters they represent. I didn't. Nor was I that good in that Tamil, nor was I aware of the Dravidian politics. So I told Mani, and I'm a very bad imitator. I told Mani, sir, I can't imitate. Even if you give me loads of documentaries of Kalanger, you'd see it as a story, I will perform. And if my performance is telling you a story, it's fine. I was acting and I had not met Kalanger. And while the shooting was going on after 3-4 schedules, the news was around that I'm doing, a guy from Karnataka is doing Karunanidhi's role. And that year I got a state award for K. Balachandra's Kalki. And I went to the state awards, and Kalangir was there. He was 64 and I was 30. And they announced my name, and I walked up to the stage, and the audience were clapping and they were very happy. And I remember Kalangir saying, the original name of the film was Anandan. Then it became Iruvar. He said, Prakash Rajukku விருது வழங்கும் போது சபையில் ஒரு கலகலப்பும் ஒரு ஆனந்தம். அதற்கு காரணம் எனக்கும் தெரியும், அவருக்கும் தெரியும், நாம் இருவருக்கும் தெரியும். And then that happened, and he knew that this boy who was doing my role, but he was fine with it. And later I got the national award, and I'll tell you a secret, untold story. And the next year they announced the state awards, and I didn't get it. And I knew there was politics there, but I was fine with it. And I said, "Arasu viriyadu arasiyal aiduchi." Then he was angry. Then we met. And he was a good friend to me. He used to like me. He used to call me for morning walks. He loved my performances. He loved what I stood for. And we had brief meetings, and he had immense love for me. I remember there was in a 2 days notice, I asked him to come and release Abhiyum Nanum audio as the father and son. He immediately came. Until the last days, he would not take revenge. He was a very wonderful man, and he knew my politics, and he never forced me about that. And there was a little love and hate relationship I had, and I had not met him, but later I met him. Later I read about him, and I was appalled by what he was, for what he stood for, and what he wrote, and his viewpoints. Yeah.
I have interviewed Kalanjar, in 2005. Before going to interview him, I watched the movie Iruvar, and I studied from your character and your performances about that.
That was very unfair.
Unfair.
Kalangir was beyond that. His புறநானூறு போர் முகத்தில் எவர் வரினும் புறந்தொடாத பொறுவைரத்தோழங்க. Yeah. His politics was different, the way he brought in reservation.
But after meeting him, it was exactly same.
Yeah, probably the soul of the character was the same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
You performed wonderfully well for that character. You have performed wonderfully well.
Due credit to Mani Ratnam and to everybody, and especially I had a driver, Rangarajan, because I did not know Tamil and he knew Tamil. So I used to write Tamil in Kannada.
Kannada.
And he used to correct my pronunciations. I really miss him. He was a great reason for that, yeah.
And you have acted many other films of Mani Ratnam after that, right up to Ponniyin Selvan. Can you share your experience in
Somebody asked me, I think Bharadwaj Rangan, said, you and Mani must be regularly meeting. Then I just thought, it's been 25, 30 years of my association with Mani Ratnam, and we have done around 5 films. Then I thought, all time put together, me and him talking, is not more than 24 hours. Because there is one relationship. He calls me only when it is necessary. And I don't go seeking for job, because I would rather be called when the director needs me. So I'm one of the actors where I don't have a manager in all my life. I don't let anybody sell my dates. So it is an understanding between Mani sir, whether it is Okay Kanmani or whether it is Chikkachu and the Vanam. Or some films he doesn't cast me, and he knows. Because Mani wants only, he is a very selfish man as far as the script is concerned. So I would rather be called. So my relationship with is very simple, and it is like a silent relationship, no? You understand one another with one gesture. He need not narrate me the whole script. He knows, he trusts what I bring to the table. He doesn't teach me acting, and he knows I'm a responsible actor. And we know we have the same nilabadu. So it is not necessary to always to be talking and holding, you know. You let one another free. And that is, for the people, it may be shocking. In my 25, 30 years of my career, if I have talked cinema with him, it is only for 24 hours. It's a very silent relationship. I observe him, I observe his films, he observes my stands, he observes what films I do. And we are busy with one another.
Which film you find the most challenging of Mani Ratnam's movies, as far as your acting is concerned?
I love Iruvar of his and I love OK Kanmani of his because of the, not only because I have acted in it, I think Iruvar was a very great classic, not only as a film, the way Santosh Shivan lensed it.
Yes.
Classic. Of course, it did not see the afternoon show. It was a disaster when it was released. But that doesn't matter to us. It is what I think those two are great films of his. Yeah. I like that Snehidane. What is that film? Yeah, Mani. See, the point is with people, filmmakers like Mani Ratnam, no, my friend says, how do you trust him and go? I said, they are searching something. And if they give a hit, I have a jackpot. If they give a flop, I have not lost anything. I have experienced something. So people like Mani Ratnam and all, easy hit or a flop is he's gone beyond that. He just keeps doing films. That's it.
In Ponniyin Selvan, you acted nearly 1,000 years historical picture. No? How you feel that period films?
The Ponniyin Selvam is a very Tamil film. Okay, and Mani is a very staunch Tamilian, like how we Malayalis are. He trusts his language, his so this thing. So Ponniyin Selvam is a folklore there, and I am a Kannadiga.
Yeah.
So he took his time to do 2 volumes, and then, in fact, there is a joke about that also. He has asked me for a role, and I said yes. And then I was preparing for that role. I'll not tell you which role it is, one of the character roles. And then he called Prakash. I need a 2 generation older actor. I said okay, get lost. Then I was quiet, and then he asked me for this more elder role, and I said, "You're asking me to do a role which is 3 generations elder to me." But he said, no, I need a presence. I don't need an actor. You trust me. There's very little screen time, but with you, I trust. And I went and did it. So with him, it is like that. I just don't even ask questions when he calls because those moments I spend with him, his knowledge, the way he sees cinema, the way he lends. Actually, I go to a classroom when I go to him. And that was a great experience. And film, what it did is a different thing. But was Ponniyin Selvam was as good as the classic written? I don't know because I don't know that much of Tamil literature. Are we bowing you? For a change, he has still not asked me political questions.
Okay. Now let us come to the present.
I asked for it.
Memory is over. Now come to the reality of 2026. How you see the changes in the present cinema, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, or the South Indian industry?
In the present context, I think Malayalam and Tamil are very strongly making films. Whether we have directors like Paranjit, Vetrimaran, Mani Ratnam, and also Malayalam films, which is very rooted. You see, or you see the funded 1 or 2 films of whatever the propaganda films they are making. I feel Hindi film has lost its roots. You know, it's beautiful, wonderful, plastic. It's like a Madame Tussauds museum. Everybody is beautiful, but we still are related. We are still have our stories to say. And I think to some extent, the new young directors of Tamil are talking politics, talking Dalit issues, of talking, and that gives so much of hope. The film like Family, which talks about a Sri Lankan family coming down here. And that's very happening. And I saw a beautiful film called Feminici Fatima this time. Just to see that a young filmmaker is relevant, is taking a stand, and that is very heartening and that is very inspiring to see. Yeah.
Why such a fall in Hindi films? Parallel cinema is Hindi is
No,
almost
one cinema just becomes a business.
Yes.
And they lose, I think probably me, Rajmouli and Prashant Neel were discussing that why are dubbed films doing very well in the
India.
PC centers?
Yes, yes.
Then he was saying, no, after the multiplexes, the Bombay film industry started making films only for multiplexes. Very cute films and things like that because they were earning well and they went into that page three
Yes, yes.
and they lost touch with, rural Rajasthan, Bihar, and they see these loud films dubbed. There's some connection. And also, I think in Hindi cinema, when after post independence, whether it is fantasy or commercial films, it was nation building. There would be Amar Akbar Anthony, where three people can give blood of three religions to one mother. So those sort of lot of nation building films were happening. Now it is not so. Now it is money, it is fake, reels, how much of page three I am there, trying to create promotions, yelling at the top of the voice. And I think that is where they have lost that connect with the audience.
This Hindutva regime, they are using films as a propaganda vehicle, no?
See, you have to give me that because 3-4 years back I said they are going to invest crores of rupees into it.
Yes.
They are investing, but do you think they are successful?
Yeah.
They make a film on Mr. Modi, it earns only 30 crores. But they banned a film like Padmavati which earned 500 crores. Now the greatest joke is Durandar.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, they thought it is a propaganda film. I asked people, the villain has become popular. So it has backfired for them. Anybody asked, not propaganda, commercial film, my God, what swag the villain was. Now they don't know, it is like that Brahmas or something, it has come back and ricocheted to them. And all the piles they are making, whatever files they are making, it is stinking. Yeah. And Emergency, Kangana Ranaut, where are they?
Kerala story.
Where are they? They're just, I don't know. I will want to share a beautiful experience. I will not name the fellow. There was an MP, member of parliament. He came to my sets. And he's a right-wing MP, blessed by the Mahaprabhu. He walks up to me and he says, nice to see you on the sets. I said, okay, sir, sit down. Your people know, don't let me talk in the parliament. I said, your people whom? You are an MP, you should talk in the parliament. No, your people are not letting. I said, who my people? Your Kerala MPs. Your DMK MPs. I said, it is not our problem. Tell your Mahaprabhu not to make Kangana Ranaut and Hema Malini MPs. What will they talk? The problem is in your MPs, not in my MPs. See, they're impossible there. So you're talking about right-wing propaganda films. Let them to see. I'm telling I am not against banning films. Let them do them. Let the people know who they are from their films.
Yes, yes.
It is they who decide. Let them come out. We will know their nonsense. We will know their dirtiness. Let them do it. But the sad thing is, like an event manager, our Prime Minister will propagate that film. Please see Kerala files. I mean, is he an event manager? I don't understand. That means indirectly he is a producer. Otherwise, why? Why does an actor promote other actors' films?
Great.
He is a shameless fellow. Leave him.
Another question. Any cultural resistance is possible in the present context?
Cultural resistance is also the answer.
Yes.
Culture, cinema, art has always shows its resilience, has always fought back. In all the histories of the world, whenever the fascists or racists have come, from Hitler to, there has been a cultural revolution. And I think that is what we are doing here today.
Yes, yes.
In today, KLF is witness. And I wish the right wing or the Bhatt should understand who is coming here. A Nobel laureate is coming here. Romila Thapar is coming here.
Yes, yes.
Great writers are coming here. Actors are coming here. And all of them are talking about love. And there is a resilience which has started. You can't bury a voice. And cultural resistance is happening. It is happening through songs, through theater, through discussions, and it is the only hope. And art will fight back
But our cultural resistance in India, it is there in South. But when you go to the North, what is the condition?
because they are not rich culturally there. What are they? I was talking the other day. They are a landlocked place. They have only inland experiences of somebody coming on them, taking them. I'm sorry, we might have not had the pain of partition. They have suffered more, but they have not learned the lesson. But we, South India is not a landlocked place. We have grown with collaborations. We have had St. Thomas coming down to preach his this thing. We have had Vasco da Gama who has come here because of the seas. And we have 4 different languages. We have collaborating and living. We have every 100 kilometers, we have different food, different language, different dialects. We are a very robust space. We are diversity and we are rich. Why they can't come here is because of that. What history do they have? So I understand that, that is why the right wing is more strong and more brainwashed there. But now they are also getting the heat. Look at the migration. They are coming here to live.
Coming to Kerala.
Coming to Kerala, coming to Karnataka, coming to Chikmagalur, coming to Tamil Nadu, coming to Bangalore. And that is our problem. We are open because we have always accepted diversity. We have always accepted diversity. But don't come and impose. Don't come and impose. I told a story among the children's here. The children made a play in one of my, I do an incubator where we are working for the last 2 years as theater as a tool in education. Those kids, today they rewrote Ramayana in the play. It's a story about an anthill. Okay. And they say there is some function is happening and we are going to have a rain of milk. So they want to escape. They come out and those are walking and they realize that human being has poisoned the earth. They don't have food. And elder one of those anthills ant says, white ant, you only thing man has not poisoned is books. So they go to a library. And the elder white ant warns, whatever you eat, what you digest is yours. And if you eat too much, you will become characters. And in the play, children took one Ramayana and ate all the ants. Then suddenly Rama, Lakshmana, Sita came. So they are coming down to south and Lakshmana says, Rama, what lucky? No, there is one forest here. Rama says, no, it is somebody's land. It's somebody's farm. Oh, there are fruits. Can we eat? Yeah. But is it stealing? No, if we are hungry, we can eat. As they are eating, the Shurpanaka and Ravana ant come. And Shurpanaka is very angry. It says, Anna, somebody is eating our fruits. And the Anna Ravana says, no, they are hungry. Let them eat. We can talk to them later. After they have eaten, they come and this Rama, Lakshmana says, hey, Lucky. Rama calls Lakshmana Lucky. Hey, Lucky, some tribals have come. They say, no, we are the owners. Please. Now, since you have eaten the fruit, you have to pay the price. Then what is the price? Then she calculates Shurpanaka and says $2,000 with GST.
Oh.
And they say, no, we don't have money. Then Ravana says, give them some discount. Okay, 20% discount. No, we don't have. So, in spite giving discount, if you don't have the money, then you are not tourists here. You have come in search of food. So, what you do, since you have eaten the fruits, the seeds are there, no? Plant it, turn it into a tree and go. What is your name? Oh, I am Rama from north. Yeah, I am Ravana from south. Nice meeting you. These children said politics. You guys want to come, don't force your Hindi. Learn Malayalam, no? You have come to work here. Don't become a manager of a bank and ask us not to eat beef. We will do a beef festival. Alle? Come, do something, work something, respect our culture and go. No, one nation, one religion, my dialogue. Get lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? This is our land. Behave yourselves. That is the cultural politics I am doing with my play.
Well, good. That is what we have to do. No?
Children know the politics. These fellows don't know what to do.
Now, let us conclude our talk and give chance to the people to ask.
I always love them asking questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I always want them to ask just asking.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, good evening. And you said you love translations. Can you tell about the current translations in Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and the translations which you like more? And I hope you should have read
See,
Ramakrishnan sir's.
translations, why I like. I always say, I think in the last year I performed, language is just a sound. What is it pregnant with is human emotions. Our love, our pain, our cry. So if you dig the literature of the world, what you see is human aspirations only. Now you see the Bhanu Mushtaq's book was translated. So the stories have to be shared. We need Palestinian poems here. We need our poems there. So translation is the need of the hour today to know, to share our stories, to share our pain, to share our wisdom. I think a lot of work has been happening, and I'm very, very happy about that. That a lot of work has been happening in translation, and we have realized the importance of translation. Yeah. You have taken.
Hi, sir. Thank you, both of you. It's a just direct question coming from a limited understanding of history and all of that. But have you ever felt that in one of your movies that you acted, you did a role, especially I'm asking you this concerning Ponniyin Selvan. Okay. So it's a very Tamil movie rooted in the Dravidian culture and all of it. But in some way or the other, I felt that the representation of the Chola and Pandya, some element of Brahmanicism has crept into the representation, the way they dress, the color of the women and all of that. And how do you respond to that? From
As an actor.
yeah, no, not as an actor, because that you have covered.
No, if you're
because-
talking particularly about Ponniyin Selvam,
Yeah.
there are two different perceptions, the director's and yours.
No. I'm not talking about the acting part that you did, because you answered that in your explanations. Because how, as an actor, you succumb to the surrender to the script and all of that. But once the movie is done, you did your part. When you watch it,
I can tell you of a film which disturbs me after I have done.
yes.
Okay, you see, there was one small series I did called Pavakadagal. I don't know if you have seen it. It was a very dark character. I have two daughters and I love women a lot and children, but in that film, I have to kill my daughter. I wouldn't do that because I would not want to, because I know I perform very well and people will hate me because then people after that said, we want you as an Abhiyum Nano father, not a Pavakadagal father. But as an actor, I need to tell that story. So I had to tell a story of where, as a character, it is not me who killed my daughter. It is the pressure of the society. Society sits so much on a father that if you don't kill this daughter, the elder daughter's husband has left and you can't marry the younger daughters. You can't live in the village. I did it. It was too dark. It is too painful. And 3 days later, I was having breakfast at the table and I burst out crying. And my wife said, what happened? No, it was too dark. It stayed back with me. Acting is different. Sometimes to know the truth and that helplessness as a citizen of this country and also helplessness of the fellow who killed. Sometimes it gets on to you. Because I'm a human. Some roles get on to you like that. Yes. So I don't see that film again at all.
Sir, my question would be, how do you think reading and writing are acts of dissent in such a fascist regime?
Because today we have a regime, they are not behaving like a government, okay? In a regime where they are criminalizing dissent. So they are afraid. Take the example of Sonam Wangchuk. What is he doing? He is talking about saving the fragile landscape of Himalayas. This time we have had less snow. Now, Adani, Ambani want to go there, corporatize it. He's trying to stop. These people are fear him so much, that dissent. They have put him in Rajasthan jail so that even his wife is not familiar there. So I asked them, how big a wall do you want to build? That means you're afraid of dissent so much. Why have you put Umar Khalid inside? Who is he? He's talking about peace. He's protesting that how can a citizenship be decided upon a religion? So Sonam Wangchuk and Umar Khalid is not their problem. They are an example to tell all of us that thinking, reading, writing, even the idea of protest is criminalized. We have to read that between. And that is where I get when Sonam Wangchuk and my hero Umar Khalid, when they write from the jail, that I feel like Jesus Christ like, I feel like Bhagat Singh like. Don't think of me as a victim. There is a beauty in this pain, because in future, this pain and this my resilience will be written. That's my hope. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm here. Here. As much as it gives me so much joy to listen to the artist that you have become, and I believe that now more than ever, it's not the time to sit on the fences. But we do see that a lot of stars choose not to, react to a certain thing. And sometimes the argument goes like, we have so much to lose, that's why there is a certain kind of silence. But there is also the other thing that it is because that they have a lot, probably there is a privilege to take a stand. So how would you react to that?
Give her the mic next question. She's standing for a long time. I'll answer this. It is our country, we have to fight. There are two sorts of actors who don't speak. One is an opportunist. You have alleged they are beautiful. Now the truth is coming out, they are opportunists. Second is they have become popular and they are not enriched within by reading, by knowing, by understanding. Yes, it would be nice if they spoke, if they used their beautiful voices. Otherwise, fine, we will continue to fight. Simple. At such times, tell us who a person is, no? So let us know. They will not come, they may not come, they may have a reason. But this is not the time to sit on the fence. You have people like me, fine.
Hello, sir. Good evening. You are not only an actor, but also a person who fearlessly speaks. And I believe in the fact that all this courage come from the fact that you are an artist. So my question is, if you ask yourself the question, why am I an actor? How will you answer it?
Actually, the subject is the actor I became. I started as an actor like all young people in this beautiful country, around 70s, born, 65 born. It was very fine to have it as a career. But in my own life, I see my friend being killed and the dispensation changing. Then career doesn't become important to me. Because of my reading, because of my travel, because the way I have been exposed to life, I have become this sort of an actor. So I have decided not to act to be real. Otherwise, I become an actor, then I have to act outside also. No? When I come also, I have to come with a wig, with my makeup. I don't have to anymore. And the actor I have become is, I have started acting for the people. Acting or nilabad order. And the most beautiful thing other actors don't realize is that I am not popular as an actor anymore. I am popular because of my nilabad more. They love me not for my acting. They have seen better actors. They have a lot of fans, but everybody is standing for the personality I have grown with. And I'm very happy about that today. Because When I question that, it liberates me. It gives meaning to me. It gives so much of interaction with people. I'm so happy.
You were watching the previous speaker speaking. He was talking the future of Indian cinema is the big mythological blockbusters. We can beat Hollywood on that. And then you came and said Tamil and Malayalam film are the best movies because they're rooted on the ground. So do you think in the future movies will be more capitalistic and more money oriented, or this type of cinema can survive?
Aren't you seeing those fellows from 200, 300, 400, 500 crores? It is getting heavy. You'll see them crushed soon. They can't carry that weight. It is all in the air. Okay, great films. If you have done Avatar, I can understand. You're not doing an Avatar. Okay. Ninde oru avataramana. So those are events. So don't compare events with cinema. This is cinema. Where does budget decide cinema? Content decides cinema. Language is beautiful, contents decide. Language is beautiful with what it is pregnant with, what it is delivering, not the sound. So this will be the truth. This is an experience. That is an event. For that you have to go to theater, a big element. There's too much of preparation, too much of life, too much of lies involved. But fine, we are not against it. But that is not going to go disturbed. It will become capitalistic. It will become selfish. They will fight among themselves. Don't worry.
ஹலோ வணக்கம் சார் கேக்குதா இங்க
எங்க இருக்கீங்க செல்லம்?
நான் இங்க இருக்கேன் செல்லம்.
சொல்லுங்க செல்லம்.
சார் நீங்க வந்துட்டு இருவர் பத்தி சொன்னீங்க, ஆசை பத்தி சொன்னீங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்துட்டு கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டால் சொன்னீங்க. ஆனா என்ன ரொம்ப இம்ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணது உங்களோட அபியும் நானும் சரியா வந்துட்டு ஒரு அப்பா எப்படி இருக்கணும்ன்றத அழகா சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க சார்.
அது என் பொண்ணுக்காக பண்ண படம்.
உங்க பொண்ணு ஆனா இந்த உலகத்துல நிறைய பொண்ணுங்க அதை பார்த்து இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆயிட்டாங்க சார்.
ஆமா, எனக்கு உங்களுக்கு இன்னொன்று தெரியும். You know something? When Abhiyum Nanum was released, I went to a theater. I was around 40 plus. அப்போ suddenly one 82-year-old lady, உங்களை பார்த்தா எங்க அப்பா மாதிரி இருக்கீங்க நீங்க. I said, அம்மா இல்லப்பா உன்னை பார்த்தா என் அப்பா மாதிரி இருக்க. உங்க அப்பா எப்போ போனாங்க? அவர் 40 வயசுல இருந்து போனாங்க. So for her, the image is still there. And I went to New Jersey, I was talking and I could see a 16-year-old girl crying because she was missing her father. I did that film, Radha Mohan gave me the script, and because I was saying my daughter was 5, and I say I'm a very vibrant fellow, what if she grows up and marries a black man from Africa? Will I have grandchildren like that? He said, nice, we'll do a Punjabi film. I wanted to tell that film and say, it is actually not a daughter's film. It's a father's film. Where fathers cry too. And in a man's life, there are so many women he can mother, sister, wife, girlfriends, every aunts come. But daughter is the only relationship where he has to unconditionally love and let it go.
Exactly, you said.
So, when a music leaves the flute, flute has no right on the music anymore, and the loneliness of the man, of letting it go. And then, we write a line in that, when a daughter is born, a father is also born. So, he becomes a father because of her. And when she's getting married, till then, my father-in-law is the best fellow. Then I realized I am becoming a father-in-law and my wife was somebody's daughter. So this sort of journey of a father where the daughter comes, that's what I made that film into. It's a very beautiful film, close to my heart, and I'm proud I produced it.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me? Okay.
Sorry, it's a wonderful discussion. Time is over.
The last question.
Last question.
Yeah. Thank you. So, sir, there is a philosophy, no, that's a concept of Japanese phases. 3 phases we have. One we are giving for the society, the other one is intimate, and the last one is hidden in ourselves. So, there is an actor called Prakash Raj, and there is a person called Prakash Raj. So, how's the journey? Have you ever journeyed in a parallel way, or there is any conflict between the actor and the person itself?
I don't like to be a Brahma with many faces. Everywhere the same Prakash Rajana. Same Nilabadana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, Chalam. Love you all. I've had a 3-day of great session in KLF, and I'm so happy KLF has grown so much with so many people, so many youngsters. And this time I really saw youngsters and their energy and their laughter. Keep smiling like this in these troubled times, because smiling is also resilience. Love you all. I'm going to miss you tomorrow because I have to go to Trivandrum because I happen to be the jury chairman and tomorrow is the film awards there. I'll see you all soon. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prakash Raj.